Dude, what's up? Another episode of Embrace Your Storm. Gonna have a slightly different take on this episode. We're gonna rank the Megadeth albums and see what people think of this ranking here. So maybe a quick episode, may not be. We'll see where this takes us. But number one for me, Rust in Peace. This album was completely insane. Like, Dave Mustaine was clean. Dave Ellison was clean. And man, they were firing on all 8 cylinders on this album. Completely ridiculous from song to song to song. I have no idea how Dave Mustaine plays half the riffs he plays and sings over them. It's completely uncalled for and ridiculous. So that's number one. And it's also like one of the greatest thrash albums ever. It's one of the top 3 for sure. So with that being said, we're moving on to, honestly, this album, in my opinion, is like Rust in Peace Part 2. The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. Dude, what? Like, that album is completely insane. Like, Dave Mustaine has plenty of gas left in the tank, and he proved it on that album. It was night and day difference between the latest Metallica album that came out and my episode before, where I talked about Megadeth Metallica. You'll see, I was a Dave Mustaine fan in the Metallica days and just didn't realize it. So The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, by far their second best album, completely off the hook and ridiculous and insane. The next album, third in line here, is going to be Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? That is another badass album. Honestly, no bad songs on that album. All bangers there, all day long. Devil's Island, The Conjuring, I mean, come on. Wake Up Dead, it doesn't stop. Like, that album, again, from beginning to end, is a banger. So Peace Sells, But Who's Buying is a no-brainer for the next one in line. So this next one is musically and melodically their next best album, and that's Countdown to Extinction. I don't care what people say about Sweating Bullets or Symphony of Destruction, which, hey, those are decent songs. But the other songs on there, Skin of My Teeth, High Speed Dirt, dude, those are freaking awesome songs. Nothing but good songs on that album. Like, every song on Countdown to Extinction, again, from start to finish, is a banger. So that's number 4 on the list. The next one here might be a little lower on the chart for some of you, but here's where it hits for me. Killing is my business and business is good. Like, the only thing I really have bad to say kind of about this album is the production. But if you know what those guys did when it came to the production of that album, you'd understand when you spend half your production cost on drugs, what's going to happen with the production of your album. So, but the fury and fire that is caught on this album is pretty sick. Like, Dave Mustaine just ready to take down Metallica with this launching of his own new band and his own... This guy to go out and, like, rewrite a whole nother album after, like, Metallica releases Kill 'Em All. Like, think about that. This guy's pissed off. Metallica steals all of his music. They put it out on Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. This guy has got to go back to California on a bus. Granted, maybe some of his decisions got him there, like, whatever. But he's got to go back and just write this whole other album. So, Killing is my business and business is good. There you go. Coming in after that is So Far, So Good, So What. This album, for me, I love the rawness in it, but there's like it's kind of like half the songs I can take, half the songs I could take or leave, you know. It's a pretty good album. I love the rawness and just the aggression that's still, you know, in the Dave Mustaine camp. I think the problem with kind of like the earlier albums, like especially So Far, So Good, So What, I think he changed guitar players yet again on this one. And man, excuse me. It's hard to get a good like groove going when you're in a band, because I mean it is, you know, people say it's like being in a family or whatever, which is true, but you have this like other connection when you're jamming with people. And I'll tell you what, like on the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, he's firing on all 8 cylinders, man. I mean, I know Kiko Calero or whatever is not jamming with him now, but it seemed to be he had a good thing going there. So everything was going well with that combination. With So Far So Good, So What? To me, the music is kind of like disjointed a bit, if that makes sense. The next one is The System Has Failed. That's got some heavy bangers on it. You know, I don't have like terribly too much to say. I think Chris Adler was the drummer. Is that right? Yeah, Chris Adler. I think the drummer from Lamb of God was on this one. He might have been on the next album that's in line 2 here, United Abominations. Again, a lot of good bangers on these 2 songs. You know, Megadeth, Dave Mustaine was pumping out his aggression and thrash on these 2 albums. Definitely, you know, a fan of where he was going on these 2. Next in line, we have Dystopia. I actually met Dave Mustaine during this tour. He was at Guitar Center, and I got to meet him real quick. That was pretty cool. I just got to shake his hand. He signed a post or whatever, and I moved on. But it was pretty cool to just kind of be like, hey, dude, thanks for, you know, giving me music to listen to and getting me through some hard times. That's basically all I got to say. But not that he probably cares. He probably hears it all the time. But it was good to at least let him know, like, hey, your music means something to me, you know? I'm sure people like to hear that. Dystopia, I think this is the album Kiko Calero first came on. Again, a bunch of good songs on this album too. Like, comparatively speaking, man, you put this album Dystopia up against like whatever the latest Metallica ones are, it smokes any later Metallica album 100%. You know, so Dystopia, another banger. We're gonna go back a little bit. The next one in line here is Cryptic Writings. This one was, you know, a little bit more of a commercial, you know, Megadeth album. You know, they, I think Euthanasia might have been, yeah, Euthanasia was before this album. But, you know, I think this is when Marty Friedman this was the last album I think Marty Friedman was on, if I'm correct. But it's got a couple good songs, you know, Trust is a good song. It's got quite a few good songs on there, so that's Cryptic Writings for you. Euthanasia, yeah, I mean, it's okay. The one cool song I love is She-Wolf. That's a great song. I love that song. I can't say too much about the rest of it. It's okay, you know. Honestly, the rest of my list, it's kind of like, is it gonna matter like where I honestly put these next few? Like, that's how I kind of feel about these next ones here coming up. So next in line we have Risk. I mean, it's okay, you know. It was like a risk putting it out, maybe. I mean, I don't like everything Megadeth's put out. Like I said, these last few albums, I'm kind of like, could really take or leave these last few. The next one is The World Needs a Hero. I'm kind of like, it's okay. I mean, I probably could have put that one before Risk, probably. The last 2, I think, here, Endgame, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Sorry, Dave. And 13 is the last one, I think, here. Oh, no, and there's Super Collider. I mean, really, like, again, these last few, it's kind of like, yeah, there wasn't much for me on these. I mean, I'd have to, like, listen back to them, but, like, so the couple of albums lose a little gas for me on the Megadeth side, but, I mean, come on, they put out, like, 18 albums or whatever. Not everyone can be like Frank Zappa, you know? I mean, come on. So, but I'll tell you what, I'll put the Megadeth catalog up against the Metallica one any day of the week. If you want to see who ended up being the heaviest band or whatever, Megadeth won that battle hands down. I mean, maybe they didn't win that battle monetarily, but I think in the other realms, Megadeth has certainly won the battle, in my opinion. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what your rankings would be. Are they similar to mine? Are they way off of mine? Am I insane? What do you think, huh? Let's get a discussion going. Check out EmbraceYourStorm.com. Don't forget to email hello@EmbraceYourStorm.com. Give me your comments, criticisms, and whatnot. And everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And don't forget to embrace your storm. See ya.